Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Whirlpool refrigerator fill cup and bearing assembly. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new fill cup and bearing assembly. The fill cup and bearing assembly does two things. It's the fill cup for the ice maker, and it also has this little round plastic piece, which they call a bearing. That's where the ejector goes. So the main reason you'd be changing it is if either the cup cracked or the bearing cracked. In order to change out the part, we have to open up the freezer door and take out the ice bin assembly. Take this door off, go ahead and lift up the ice arm and remove the shelf. All you have to do is lift up on it and then push it back and then pull it out. Now that we have the shelf out of the way so we can get access to the top, pull the ice bin out just to get it out of the way so we can get to the screw underneath. We can reach underneath. There's a 1/4-inch screw that holds the ice maker to the wall. And then we can loosen the upper screws. We don't have to take them all the way out. We just have to loosen them up so we can lift the ice maker out. We lift the ice maker off. And then we can use a small flathead screwdriver to reach back inside and release the locking clip that holds the plug in. Now that we have the ice maker out, we can do the repair. We have to take the ice maker apart. So the first thing we have to do is take the cap off. And then we can take a small flathead screwdriver and push in the electrical connection lock and pull the wire harness off, and then we can take off the arm. The arm just pulls out, and then we can take it off the cup side too. The head is held on by 3 Phillips screws, which we can take out. Once we have the screws out, the control head will just pull right out. Now that we have the module out, this black piece is held on by 2 Phillips screws. We can take those out. Once you have the screws loose, it may be a little tight. You just have to slowly slide it forward so it comes off the heater pins. We're going to take the ejector arm out. All you have to do is lift it up and pull it out. The fill cup, all we have to do is flex this onto the other side, and then it comes right out. Here's the old fill cup and bearing assembly next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. The one thing you have to do before you can put this back in is, this is a universal cup, and it has 2 cutouts, one here and one here, depending upon where your fill tube comes from. So all you have to do is take a razor blade and cut the new one out to match the old one. Now that you have the slot cut out, we can put it back in. Alright, to get the bearing back in, we just have to basically push it into its little slot and bring this to the other side of the mold. Once it's in place, we can put the ejector back in, making sure that we put the round end here and the end with the flat on it at the control head section. Now that we have the ejector in, we can put the housing back on. All we have to do is line it up with the holes and slide it into place. We can put the screws back in to reattach the black housing. Make sure you tighten them down all the way so there's not a gap between the mold and the housing. put the ice maker control module in, we have to make sure that this D-shaped shaft is lined up with this one. So when you take the old one out, they spin around. So you basically have to come on this side and grab it so you can spin it. Once you line it up, you can push it on. And then you can put the screws back in. Once we have the screws in, we can put the control arm back in. All you have to do is slide it into the slot and push it in. And reattach the other end on the cup. Then we can flip it over and plug the wiring harness in. Last thing we have to do is put the cap back on. Now that we're done repairing the ice maker, we can put it back into the freezer. So we're going to do it just the opposite as we took it out. We need to make sure this nozzle goes into the cup and connect the electrical line. Make sure it snaps into place. And then we can set the ice maker onto the 2 mounting screws. Once we have those on, we can tighten down the screws and then put in the lower mounting screw. Now that we have the ice maker in, all we have to do is put the bin back in, just set it on the rails and push it back into place, and then turn the ice maker back on. Then we can replace the shelf and the door we took off. So all we have to do is slide it back into position and put it on the rear mounting pegs. Then pull it down and put the front pegs into place and snap it in. Then we can put the door back in place. All you have to do is put one of the pins on one end and then flex it a little bit so you can get the other end to go in. And then we can close the freezer door. Now that you're finished repairing your refrigerator, you can plug it back in, make sure it starts to cool off, and goes back to its normal temperature. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.